Saturday morning and I'm busy in the kitchen cooking for Chester using my vet's recommended recipes. And now I'm making his probiotic, which also happens to be my probiotic. Fermented vegetables, couldn't be easier, more economical, and great for gut health. Howdy doody, my name is Susie, and today I thought I would share with you how to make your own probiotics. And I wanted to show you that even in a busy kitchen, you can make this so quickly and the benefits are fantastic. And you're making the probiotic by fermenting regular vegetables. Today I'm going to be fermenting carrots, sweet pepper, and cabbage. I'm fermenting these specific vegetables because they're also good for my dog. So I'm making a probiotic for the dog's food and I'm making a probiotic for myself. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm processing the vegetables prior to fermenting them. And the reason for that is because it just makes it way easier to use. If I've got a big, huge, long piece of carrot that I've got to chop up before I add it to food, chances are I might not add it. But in this pre-cut state, it's easy to grab a teaspoon, a tablespoon, and sprinkle it over your food and get all those benefits. Plus it tastes really great after it's fermented. That's the tip number one, is to chop up your vegetables, process them into this form because it makes it easier to use and eat. Process the rest of my carrots to fill up my jar. Little tiny bits. And with clean hands, I just scoop the carrots right into the jar. The other thing that you need to have is some clean jars. Use any kind of clean jars. Recycled jars are fine. You need some distilled water or spring water or water that doesn't have any chemicals in it because you don't want to impede the ability for the food to ferment. If you don't have this, you can use tap water and just let it sit on the counter overnight and allow some of those chemicals to dissipate. And then you need some sea salt. And the ratio to make your brine, because we're going to cover this with salt water, it's 4 cups of water to 1 tablespoon of sea salt. So you want to, so 3/4 of the way up. Because I don't know how much of the salt water I'm going to need for each jar, I make it in my 4-cup measuring cup with the appropriate measurement, dissolve the salt, and then I pour it over to cover, and I do that until I fill all the jars. That way I don't have to figure out how much water I need in each jar, measure, all that stuff. 4 cups of water and a tablespoon of salt. This isn't rocket science, you just wanted the salts dissolved in the water so that you're pouring it with the right proportions. Salt's dissolved, and then you're going to pour water to cover the vegetable. So you want your vegetables to be submerged under the water at all times. If they're in contact with the air and you're letting it ferment, we're going to let this sit on the counter for 5 days, it can create mold. So make sure your vegetable is submerged in the water. An easy way to do that is with little tiny Ziploc sandwich bags. So I bought these little tiny bags from the dollar store. And I filled it up with water, but I've left some space at the top. Then I just put my little bag in there and I fill up the bag with water. Gently pop the little bag on top, and that keeps the vegetable submerged, if you can see that. And that's it. I'm going to put a lid on it. I'm going to leave it on the counter. I'm going to pop it open every day to let out any of the gases or the bubbles are going to be forming as it's fermenting. You don't want this to pop, so you do have to open it up, just let out some of the bubbles, just let them escape, cover it back. All you're doing is leaving it for 5 days. In 5 days you can remove the little bag and you're left with all your vegetable in its saltwater brine. When you're using the red pepper, at the end of 5 days, this red pepper, you can turn it into a sweet pimento paste, or you can use the same method to make a hot sauce. They're submerged. You're going to do the same thing. Just give the lid, open it up every day, and just let some of the gases out so it doesn't overflow. Now usually around the 4th day or the 3rd day, depending if it's hot out, it will ferment faster, and I have had it where the water has seeped out. But that's okay, you just wipe it up, it's not the end of the world. Push the cabbage down because you want to compact your vegetable as much as you can. And then just with a skewer, I just want to move it around because I want to make sure that the water gets all the way down. Take the little bag so that you're creating that weight. So it's day 2, and I'm just going to pop the lids on all 3, but you can see that the peppers are fermenting faster. It's a much softer vegetable, but all the vegetables are still beneath the water. We'll check on it again tomorrow. It's bubbling. 1 more day. So at the end of 5 days, you're going to have your own homemade probiotic. All you have to do is remove the little bag, reseal your jar, and stop the fermentation by storing it in the fridge. And you can keep this in the fridge for 6 months or longer. And what I do is, once I've got it in the fridge, every day I can go in and I can just grab a teaspoon or a tablespoon of my fermented vegetable, toss it on my dog's food, toss it on my own food, and that's it. It couldn't be anything easier than making your own homemade probiotic. It's so inexpensive and it's so good for you. And if you're interested in making the sweet pimento paste or the entry-level hot sauce, watch my next video to see how to do that. If you try this and you like it, I hope that you share it. If you enjoy my content and you want to see more, then I hope you subscribe. Happy cooking! Enjoy!